Hi, everybody. It's Dennis again with Bleeple, and I'm actually with Corey Shearer. And Corey, thanks for joining us on this. So Corey's here as well to support Russell, and we've been talking a lot. There's a lot of passion regarding this candidate, and I think that not only does he have an impeccable resume, and actually being able to teach business and being a successful businessman, but was the passion about this job, was that one of the things that drew you to Russell?
Definitely. I'm glad you asked that. For me, when you look at Russell Thompson, what sums it up really, he's an All-American who deals with All-Americans. I think we can see by the makeup of this room, when you look at the fact that he's dealt with all facets of Broward County, that he has the right makeup to be a judge and be able to deal with all the people that walk into his courtroom. Whether they're, white American, black American, Hispanic, whatever religious background, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, male or female, and etc. Those are the types of people that he chooses to deal with every day and reaches out to, as well as accepts all calls. And as a judge, you can't dictate who's going to walk into your courtroom. And the same thing, that he's gone out of his way to not dictate who walks into his law office, walks into his business seminars. He's been very much somebody who has reached out to all. And I think that's something that brings out passion in people.
Sure, absolutely. And I think the other thing is that, he mentioned to us when we talked to him earlier about the fact that you hear small claims court, but it's not small claims to those individuals. I mean, that's a huge priority and everything, and I think that shows him, it shows a lot of empathy and it shows a lot of compassion that he has.
I agree. You realize that every case has some importance. There are people who have been either victimized or looking for some kind of remedy from the court, and that's something you see that he has on his mind already. That's something that he's dealt with, and I really appreciate that in him, and I appreciate the fact that he's dealt with everybody like their issue was important and asked serious background questions. And he always asks you, tell me a little bit more about this. Let me hear a little bit more about. He's not somebody who's abrupt or just trying to get to just the basic facts. He really wants to get into things and find out more about what the issues are.
Yeah, and I think that's great too. He even mentioned earlier is that the fact that maybe he wants to investigate more, like you said. And maybe they don't like the decision at the end, but at least they'll respect the fact that he took that extra mile and gave them the time and the respect that they deserve, no matter who it is.
I agree. To think that their issue is important and is of some import, as well worthy of his focus and his attention and doing the best job possible. That's all that we could ask of any judge.
That's fantastic.
I know that's what we'll get from Russell Miller Thompson when he sits on.
Fantastic. Well, listen, Corey, pleasure meeting you, and thanks very much. And folks, we'll be back a little bit later with some more folks here.